and esteemed gentlemen, welcome to the most highly anticipated show of the year, my 2025 Book Awards, where I compile the best works of art I have read this year. Though a little belatedly airing this episode due to my still slow editing process, I am nevertheless all the more thrilled to announce this year's categories. 2025 being the trend-setting year for this show actually, as this is the year I have just launched my channel. This must be impressive. There are 6 categories to compete in. In each category, I have personally nominated 5 books. 16 books overall have been nominated for this year's categories, where I count trilogies as one nominee. The nominated books have all been rated 4-star or higher by yours truly. Now, without any further ado, get comfortable and let's get started with the first category. The first category is fairy tales. Anything that has a fairy tale vibe, resembles a fairy tale, or is actually a fairy tale. The nominees in this category are The Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black, including The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing. Uprooted by Naomi Novik. Circe by Madeline Miller. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. The winner of the fairy tale category is Uprooted by Naomi Novik.
Yay!
What? I had no idea I have to be on air today. I didn't even dress up. Okay, never mind. So, here is the introduction of the book. Uprooted by Naomi Novik is about Agnieszka, who is a village girl. She lives in a village with her family, and she's taken by a wizard, as is customary every, I think 7 years, I would say. I'm not sure anymore. Every X amount of years, the wizard takes a girl from this village, and his name is the dragon. This year, Agnieszka is taken to serve the dragon. During her time there, she discovers that her magic is wild and intuitive, a bit messy, and very much earth-based, as opposed to the collected, controlled magic of the dragon. And she discovers that this magic, her magic, is the key to fighting the wood, which is the enemy of the story, basically. From this story, I learned that power can come in different forms, and power is different to everybody. What the dragon also learns in this story, feminine, intuitive magic is just as valid as controlled, meticulous academic mastery. The second category is Academy of Life. This category involves schools, systems, and anything relating to that. The nominees of this category are The Scholomance trilogy by Naomi Novik, including A Deadly Education, The Last Graduate, and Golden Enclaves. The First Throne of Glass book by Sarah J. Maas. The Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black, including The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing. The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and The Rook by Danielle O'Malley. And the winner of the Academy of Life category is the Standalones trilogy by Naomi Novik.
Includes, of course, A Deadly Education, The Last Graduate, and The Golden Enclaves. What it basically is about, it's a sentient, monster-infested magical school with no teachers, and the curriculum is survival. The story follows Elle, a magic person with apocalyptic, destructive powers that she feels like is a burden, not really useful at all. So she tries not to use these powers. And our other character here is Orion, who just loves killing monsters. That's basically his personality. And I just loved this trilogy because what it really is a sharp, elaborative critique of the system, really. Because here the monsters aren't the real problem, the whole school system is. And what it really comes down to is that we all survive together, and true heroism and true powers is when a community stands together instead of individual saviors and separate wars against the same thing. The third category is called Time, Choice, and Second Chances, where we deal with time travel and new beginnings. The nominees for this category are The Time Traveler's Passport by various authors, The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, or Diana Gabaldon, who knows. Poisonwood by Jennifer Moorhead, and the Standalones trilogy by Naomi Novik, including A Deadly Education, The Last Graduate, and The Golden Enclaves. And the winner of this category is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, with an honorable mention to The Time Traveler's Passport, as it is truly mind-boggling. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, the corner of my heart. So Nora, our main character, is full of regret over a lot of parts in her life. She regrets potential she could have used, paths she could have taken, versions of herself she could have been, but didn't. After a night of sorrow, where she tries to end this regret, let's say it like that for YouTube friendliness, she finds herself in a library between life and death, where she can travel to parallel universes, parallel lives, that with each different decision she could have made for herself. In this library, each book is a different life that she could have lived by making different choices, and she gets to try these lives and can at the end decide which life she would like to live on in. This book is just an ode to life. It's gorgeous. I really feel like if you find it at the right time, it's an amazing book, and I did find it at the right time. It really moved me. It was such a gorgeous story about life and regret and second chances and new beginnings. So if you're feeling a bit fed up with life or not really seeing the point, you're buried in boredom, then
this book is just perfect for that point in your life. It's also a really good character study if you just want to look at it from kind of an outside point of view. It's really interesting to explore Nora. It really says that the perfect life doesn't exist, and happiness can be found anywhere if you embrace the inherent value of life. It's just really beautiful, a beautiful love letter to life.
The fourth category is Memoirs of Survival and the Self. The nominees for this category are I'm Glad My Mom Died by Janet McCurdy, The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie, Circe by Madeline Miller, Poisonwood by Jennifer Moorhead, and Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. And the winner of the Memoirs of Survival and the Self category is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Janet McCurdy, because it feels wrong not to choose a real story for this category. And also because it's a really good book.
Yay! I'm Glad My Mom Died by Janet McCurdy is a raw, darkly funny memoir of a child star who blossomed, so to say, under the control of a narcissistic mother. And Janet McCurdy talks about a lot of heavy topics in this book: eating disorders, emotional abuse, and just her path to reclaiming her own self. And it's really eye-opening and interesting, especially if you have ever watched iCarly or any of her shows that she starred in as a child. You kind of get a more of a quote-unquote personal connection to her, can get a glimpse into what she was going through when you were just enjoying, in my case, iCarly. It was a really interesting read to explore that two different feelings, two very opposing feelings can exist in a person. So you can grieve for a person and also at the same time be relieved that that person is gone. It was really kind of empowering to go with her through this healing journey.
The fifth category is The Cozy and the Quaint, where we indulge in light reading. The nominees for this category are Appleby Farm by Kathy Bramley, The Story of Og by Len Vlahos, and I'm sorry for the pronunciation, The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, Circe by Madeline Miller, and Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. And the winner for the Cozy and Quaint category is Appleby Farm by Kathy Bramley.
Yay!
So Appleby Farm by Kathy Bramley is a cozy novel about Freya, who goes to save a struggling farm of her aunt and uncle. So she leaves London in exchange for muddy boots and charming locals and creates a community at the farm, which was just so cozy and cute to read. And I was really inspired by how she found her life's meaning by building something truly connecting and wonderful for the local community. And it was quite simple as well.
And finally, the last category, the sixth, Atmospheric Standalones, a.k.a. the Wow Factor. The nominees for this category are Uprooted by Naomi Novik. The Rook by Danielle O'Malley. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. And the winner of the Atmospheric Standalones, aka the Wow Factor category is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern.
Yay!
The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. What it is a mysterious black and white circus where a magical duel between two illusionists, Celia and Marco, takes place over time, who are bound to compete against each other in a way, but instead fall in love, and their creations become the circus's wonders. But it's just so much more than that. It's a book full of mesmerizing descriptions and wonderful little elements that really feel like true magic. You're reading it and you believe that magic exists. It does speak about art as an act of love, not competition, and that the most breathtaking beauty is often born from collaboration, not conflict.
As an addition to this year's award show, I would like to highlight characters as well. I have created 4 character-centric categories, where I focus on character depth, character development arc, uniqueness of characters, personality studies or studies of personality, and true to selfness. I have nominated 5 books for each of the 4 categories based on the above criteria, and considering the best fit for the category, I have chosen winners as well. The first category is Cunning Survivors and Schemers. In this category, the nominees are Jude in the Folk of the Air trilogy, Elle in the Scolamence trilogy, Miffone in The Rook, Cersei in Cersei, and Selena in The Throne of Glass. And the best Cunning Survivor and Schemer is Elle in the Scolamence trilogy.
So the Scolamence is really a unique trilogy in my opinion, with an amazing twist that I haven't encountered a lot. It's really an interesting story of a girl fighting all odds. When she feels like the cards are stacked against her, she still doesn't lose empathy, and it's just amazing to see.
If you would like to hear more about the Scolamence trilogy and about the character of Elle, please head over to my full video talking about this trilogy. The second category is Women Unraveling Legacy. In this category, the nominees are Janet McCurdy in I'm Glad My Mom Died, Cersei in Cersei, Rita in Poison Wood, Sherry in The House of My Mother, and Agnieszka in Uprooted. And the winner of Women Unraveling Legacy is Cersei in Cersei.
So I was reading Cersei in this very park, and Cersei definitely can win the category of Women Unraveling Legacy, because she does struggle with a lot of family difficulties in the mythical way. Even though I found the book overall not that outstanding, I do still think of Cersei's character and Cersei's role in the whole story, and how strong she was and how much shit she had to sort through. In a mythical sense, she is definitely the type of woman to unravel family legacy and legacies.
The third category is the transported and the trapped. In this category, the nominees are Claire Fraser in Outlander, Nora Seed in The Midnight Library, Celia and Marco in Night Circus, Cersei in Cersei, and most of the characters in The Time Traveler's Passport. So, the best transported and trapped is Nora Seed in The Midnight Library, with an honorable mention to the truly transported and trapped Claire Fraser.
The Midnight Library came into my life at just the right point. This was just in the beginning of 2025, and I still remember the story very vividly. I found it fascinating. It's a wonderful exploration of a character, of a personality. It's a pretty good character study. In the category, Nora definitely earns a highlighted place because she fights with herself. She is trapped in a loop in time, in a way, until she figures out what she wants to do with her life and where she would feel best in all of the parallel universes that she gets to try out within her own timelines. And she fights that fight very realistically and gracefully, I think. So she definitely is a very strong character that gets to be in this category.
And the final category is Builders of New Beginnings. The nominees of this category are Freya of Appleby Farm, Sybil and Roderick of The Night and the Moth, Cersei of Cersei, Agnieszka and partly the Dragon of Uprooted, and Elle in the Scholomance trilogy. And the winner builder of New Beginnings is Agnieszka and the Dragon of Uprooted, with an honorable mention to both Sybil and Roderick and Elle.
Uprooted was a gorgeous fairy tale. It was a reimagining, in a way, New Beginnings, and definitely told in a sort of mythical way, as fairy tales usually are. And it just got me so thoroughly enchanted. I was so intrigued. It was definitely a page turner. It's a beautiful tale of a girl coming into her own and really owning what is her.
So this concludes the Best Books Award Show of 2025.
Yay!
Thank you for joining me this year. This has been a wonderful ride, and I hope we will continue the journey together in 2026. Thank you for tuning in, and see you later. Bye!